Well, yeah. Welcome back, folks. I'm going to continue my theme with Jim Beam whiskeys as a review. I didn't have a fifth or 750 milliliter of Devil's Cut, so I went and bought one of these little bitty guys, these 50 milliliter bottles. $1.41. I'm going to go ahead and review it for you. After I pour it up, I'm going to read off the just perfect for one little taste. So I'm going to let that open up a minute. I got my trusty distiller app out. The expert review, the flavor profile is spicy and smoky. Score of 75. I mean, you can find much better whiskeys at 90 proof. It's too small. I think it's 90 proof. That have better scores. So here's the description. Whiskey drinkers have likely heard about the Angel Share, the amount of liquid that evaporates while aging in a barrel. Well, Jim Beam have termed the liquid that remains in the barrels after they've been dumped as the Devil's Cut. This liquid, which was trapped in the wood staves, had been extracted and then aged a bit more in new barrels. It is then blended with 6-year-old bourbon. I'm kind of wondering how they extract the liquid from the staves. I can't imagine that's a whole lot of liquid. Well, anyway, after the liquid has been extracted and then aged a bit more in new barrels, it is then blended with 6-year-old bourbon. Tasting notes. On first passing, the aroma is full of toasted wood and barrel spices, but as you dig a bit deeper, you will get a more youthful and corn-filled aroma. Honeycomb also comes to mind. The char smoke comes through on the palate along with cinnamon red hots, but the heat and smoke are tamed just a little with caramel profile. The whiskey is interesting from a technical standpoint, but doesn't really feel it is necessary for your whiskey cabinet. So I'll go ahead and nose it up. See, I'm going to tell you a quick little story. My first experience with Black Label Jim Beam was when I was stationed in Japan back between July of 2000 and January 2001. The Black Label Jim Beam at the time, or what they had offered over there in Japan, was 90 proof, and I want to say it was aged, I think it was aged for 7 years. Can't remember. That was, like I said, 18 years ago. But the very first time I had Devil's Cut, it immediately brought back memories of that Black Label Jim Beam that I had while I was in Japan. I'm almost 100% positive, and there might be some tweaks here and there, that I mean, they're probably the same mash bill, I have no doubt. Black Label, White Label is not much difference except for the aging. The same with this one. It's pretty much all the same juice. It's just tweaked a little bit. But it almost tasted identical to that Black Label Jim Beam I had so many years ago. I mean, I thought it was the same. A little more spicy than that the Black Label. I don't get all the smoke. I mean, of course, I like peated scotches, and Laphroaig is one of my favorite, Ardbeg. So maybe that smoke is different than what they're talking about here. They're probably talking about the charred, burnt taste. I get it more in my nostrils after I drink it. It's got a charred profile on the back end for sure. But it's all right. I mean, for the price point, and I love Jim Beam. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Jim Beam. I love Booker's. but for the price and the quality, I might go with a Weller Special Reserve over this. Same alcohol, roughly the same price. I think you get a handle of 90 Devil's Cut for like 40 something around here. I mean, hell, you get a handle of Turkey 101 for just a couple dollars more. And then Weller Special Reserve, I think it's like 34, 35 bucks. That's in East Texas. But I mean, I know people who live and die by this stuff and swear to it. It's all right, but they dilute it down. So they just like whiskey flavored drinks. I heard that somewhere else. It's all right. I mean, I give it one thumb. It's a decent 90 proof whiskey. I would, if I had a choice, I'd opt for that or Weller Special Reserve. Most of them are either one of those or Devil's Cut. It should be readily available. But it's okay. I wouldn't turn it down if somebody bought me a drink. So, cheers. Buy some whiskey, share with your friends and family. Don't forget, at Son of Thor 3 on Instagram. I just post random stuff on that. I got my fitness page at Sparks Unlimited. Also on Instagram, got a Facebook page. Bearded Idiots Podcast. We just dropped episode 12 yesterday. It's kind of funny. It's a little informative. We review a peated Scotch from Islay. So you get 3 different opinions on it, and we just talk about debaucherous things and any dumb shit that crosses our mind. So check us out. Give us a like. Share it with your friends. Drink some whiskey and have a good night. Y'all take care.